let me give you an example about samatha that suppress on nivarana or hindrances. There are three kinds of kusala or wholesomeness. Defilements is like the grass that grow from the land, something like this. It is the root of grass, under the ground, and then they grew up like this. And kama vachara kusala or sensuous kusala or normal wholesomeness that we do every day, like charity or generosity, simple compassion. It's like when we cut the grass above the ground, but it still remains the root.
Oh, yes.
Cut today, but tomorrow it grows again. Next time it grows again. And the samatha or tranquil meditation, it's like a very big rock to suppress on the grass. So it can stay above the grass for a long time.
Right.
And the grass cannot grow up. But it doesn't mean that they die. Yes. One day when we take the rock out, the grass will grow again.
Right.
But it takes a long period that the grass cannot grow up. Like, but the more people cultivate samatha or tranquil meditation, their mind calm for a long period of time. But it doesn't mean that all defilements are eradicated. It just temporarily suppressed.
Right.
In this context.
So it's even more effective than wholesomeness.
Effective than simple wholesomeness.
Simple wholesomeness.
In daily life. Yes.
Got it.
For example, when we get angry and then we consider, oh, I should not do this, and then we forgive to someone who have done something wrong. And then our mind become better. So when we forgive to someone, it means wholesome arise at that time. But if someone do bad thing again, we get angry again.
Right.
It happened a short time. Wholesomeness in daily life is happen in a short period. And tranquil meditation, it happened a long period of time. But it doesn't mean that it can kill the defilement. Just suppress.
Right.
Nivarana. Yes. So hindrances. And the best wholesomeness is called Lokotara Citta here, or supplementant cittas. Supplementant cittas is arise for those who have developed right understanding to the maximum level. Then the Lokotara Citta can cut the root of grass. Yes. So next time the grass don't grow up anymore.
Right.
Yes. They become Aryan, or those who completely eradicated defilement. Yes. So the Lokotara wholesomeness or supplementant citta have function to cut the root of defilement.
Sort of taking out the roots.
Yes. And then next time the grass cannot grow up anymore. Like attachment, aversion, or ignorance have no more. So this is the last destination for those who follow the Buddha's path. Yes. But if we still in this wholesome and this wholesomeness, the grass still have the chance to grow up when we careless.
Right.
Yeah. It's the same thing as when we have a disease. When we just use painkiller, the virus still exists in our body. It make us sick again.
Right. Yes.
When all virus have completely cured, it means we are fine. Mean we won't get sick again because of that virus.
Oh.
So when the tranquil meditation is developed, all these cetasika arise again and again and again for a period of time. So that is why these all cetasika can work their function to suppress the hindrances or nivarana. But it is not the end of practicing Dharma. It is just to hold back the nivarana, not to kill. It's like to put the big rock above the grass.
Got it.
Yes. But the most important is to develop vipassana to cut the root of defilement. Yeah, it's the same thing as when we feel sick, not just use painkiller. The tranquil meditation is like painkiller, not cure.
So do you do much meditation?
This kind of meditation, I sometimes do it, but it is not what I like. What I like is to develop right understanding to all objects that experience through the six doors. This is what I like the most. Because when we develop tranquil meditation, is just for those who have completely free time to sit and follow the mind. So yeah, it's also good for those who have time to do that. But I prefer develop right understanding for everyday development. Because we live in the society. I'm not living in the forest. I'm not living in the quiet place. I'm living in the society. So I have to use my eyes, ears, nose, tongue every day. So right understanding of all realities in daily life is very important. Yeah, when we go to the market, when we go shopping, we can use tranquil meditation. We cannot close eyes at the shop. We have to open our eyes. We have to open our ears. So mostly, this tranquil meditation, the Buddha taught the monk, because the monk lived in Buddha's time. The monks stay apart from people in the quiet place.
Yes.
Or in the forest. So yes, it's a good time for them to develop tranquil meditation. They don't need to use eyes, ear anymore. But now even the monk live in the society, live with people.
So sometimes it's not practical now.
Yeah. And what I would like to deliver or to guide people to develop is not that one. It's about vipassana, the real vipassana, the right understanding of all realities through eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, sense, and mind door, because this is the real world that we are living with. Buddha also taught like that. When we taught the monk, he also raised up this meditation. Like I told you, because the monk live in the forest or in a quiet place, they don't need to use much with eyes, ears, nose, tongue. Yes. But when the Buddha go to teach people, he explained how to deal with the current situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when someone is doing that tranquil meditation, first they concentrate on an object,
Yes.
but then as they develop, there's no object.
Some people practice that kind of meditation by stare at one thing. For example, they look at the whole of something, or the lamp, the flame of the candle, for example.
Yeah.
And then they sit in front of that, and then they just stare at the flame,
Mm.
and then they repeat that tejo tejo. Tejo mean the flame or the fire. Yes. They just tell themselves flame, or tejo again and again. Sometimes they close their eye and then they open their eye, and until the mind become calm and calm and calm. Even they close eye, it's the same thing as they are still opening the eyes. Then they catch the object, and then the mind doesn't think anything else, just focus on that. Yes. And at last they no more open eyes, but the mind just focus on that. Yeah, it's just the way that the mind rests from the six doors. So flow only with the mind door. So it is suitable for the monks who live in the forest or in a quiet place, but it's not suitable for those who are making business. Yes.
You don't think it's useful for people just to calm their minds, from a lot of stress?
Yeah, if they want to try, it's okay. It's better than doing nothing. Yes. However, they can make their mind calm down, stop thinking from all things. Wow. But it is not being pure, just rest from the problem.
Yeah.
Similar getting asleep. Yes. But the way that one develop right understanding to deal with all objects around life, it make their mind energy strong. So whatever arise, can let it be. Don't escape the object. This kind of meditation, it kind of, we just avoid the object and away from the object. But develop vipassana, the real vipassana or right understanding, is to strengthen the power of the mind to absorb or to deal with all problems. This is the way I like the most.
Yeah. And I guess a lot of Western people who try meditation, they think they have to go to a beautiful place, like
That's right.
Beautiful mountain or a beautiful river.
They just take themselves away from the problem.
Yeah.
And the most popular meditation is for contemplating on breathing in and breathing out. Yes. Anapanasati Kammatthana, that Buddhists in the world like the most now. And they always find a good place, quiet place, beautiful place to do it for 10 days or any period of time. But don't forget, when you come back, you will use your eyes, your ear again.
It's funny, when I concentrate on my breathing, it makes me a little bit anxious. Because then I notice, I'm holding my breath. Sometimes if I get stressed, I hold on to my breath a little bit.
Mhm. Yes.
So yeah, if I become very conscious about my breath, I feel a little bit anxious sometimes.
Yes. Buddha's teaching is not push someone to do something that we don't really like.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. And the purpose of practicing Dharma is to understand the reality of
Mhm.
all characteristic of nature or Dharma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It is not just escaping from problem or to avoid something, but accept everything.
Mm-hmm.
We can let things go when we understand the reality of all characteristics of Dharma that arise because of condition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, like when people said something bad of us. In meditation or a tranquil meditation, we cannot hear people say because we go to the quiet place. We sit, even the phone are not allowed to use,
Yes.
right? We sit in the quiet place. So we don't hear anything.
Yeah. So when we're not challenged.
Yes, we are not challenged with that.
Mm.
But the voice or the sounds
Mm.
that experienced by ear consciousness is the reality that we have to understand. It is
Mm-hmm.
the real life.
Yeah.
It is real life. Hearing is real life. Seeing is real life. We have to understand what is happening, what is arising. It is seeing. No one see. This is the trick.
Mm-hmm.
When people say I see, it is just the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we are touched with concept with the word I, we're gonna happy or we're gonna disappointed with what we
Mm-hmm.
see or what we hear, what we heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But when right understanding understands the reality of hearing is just hearing, no one hears. This is
Yeah.
the key that hearing cannot hurt us. But if the attachment with hearing, so the following consciousness gonna be more attachment or disappointment.
Right. Uh-huh. Yes.
Yes, when we heard some people praise or admire, and they admire me or praise me,
Mm-hmm.
gain more attachment with that.
Mm-hmm.
When we become happier with that, we are facing with the next suffering. When people stop admire or stop praising and they blame instead, we get more disappointment.
Right. Yes.
But when the right understand about hearing is just hearing, no me or no people
Mm.
here, even they praise or they blame, up to them. It's just the voice, it's just the sound, arise and away. It's like the wind blow through our body and then flies away. Yeah, it is the real life. But it is not easy to develop understanding and to understand the reality around our life. It begins with right study.
Yes.
Without right studying, there is no any right practicing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Without right practicing, the mental development is not improved.
Mm.
So we still live under the pressure of defilement and then we suffer every day.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the chat box, I put you have to take baby steps.
Small step, baby steps.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bit by bit.
Yes, little by little.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have been a monk for a long time and I also have many kinds of experience of practicing. The previous time I just followed the old monk or elder people and I could not judge what is right and what is wrong.
Mm.
You know, I just woke up in the morning and prayed to the Buddha statue and in the evening, and then I thought it was the right way for practicing Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
But when I studied the Buddha's story, the Buddha's biology, during the Buddha's time, there were no any statue of Buddha. So all disciples never follow this rule that they have to pay homage to Buddha in the evening or in the morning, because those who really respect the Buddha is those who learn what the Buddha taught and then practicing in daily life, respectively or individually, not related with the Buddha anymore. When we focus on seeing, hearing is our own seeing, not Buddha's seeing.
So you want people to see what are the real teachings of Buddha,
That's
and
right.
then what has just become cultural,
Yes,
rituals.
that's right.
Yeah.
Not just in Cambodia, even in Sri Lanka or in Thailand or Myanmar, most of them practice tradition, not the Buddha's teaching. Yes, that is why they easily have argument with each other between the different practicing, because they follow their culture. So different country, we have different culture. So how can we join together the same way? We cannot. But when we back to the real teaching of the Buddha or original teaching of the Buddha, there is no different.
You could say it's universal.
It's universal, yes.
Yeah.
So when we focus on seeing, everyone can see, right? Can see.
Yeah.
When we focus on seeing, seeing is just seeing, hearing is just hearing, smelling is just smelling. So we all have the 6 doorways. Yes, the 6 doors of consciousness. And all problems that we are facing in daily life always come through these 6 doors, not the 7th door from these 6 doors, through eye, ear, nose, tongue, body sense, and mind door. People can feel bored with some situation and they want to stay away or isolate themselves from people, but they may confuse. When they stay alone, it doesn't mean that alone. When they stay alone, the mind is not alone. They think of many things in the past. They think many things in the future. They're thinking connected with people. One story, one monk in the Buddha's time, he always walk, sit, or sleep alone. And news about him passed from one monk to another. At that time, when the monk were talking about him, that he always walk alone, sit alone, sleep alone. And then Buddha said, monks, I don't say that a monk who always sleep alone, walk alone is a single or alone, a real alone. But those who even staying in the group of people, but when they see something, they contemplate on seeing, they is just seeing. Hearing is just hearing. Smelling is just hearing. No I or someone else in seeing. Those who always contemplate about that is truly alone. Those who only sit in the quiet place, but always think, oh, I went this place, I have been to that place, someone said to me like this. Buddha did not call this person is alone. They live with many objects, with many.
Right. Yes. So being alone physically
Yeah, physically, but the mind is not
is
alone.
not so important.
That's right.
It's what the mind is doing.
Yes, they just alone physically. That is why some people who stay alone for a long time, they may think something bad, or they decide to commit suicide because of not just alone, but feel lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I always say alone doesn't mean that lonely.
Mm.
Lonely,
Doesn't.
yeah, some people live with the family, but they feel lonely.
Right. Yes.
They feel lonely. Being alone doesn't mean you have to feel lonely.